Welcome back to round 3 of the Charlotte Legacy League 1K, where we have green-white lands versus 4-color beans. Both players kept 7, and Bill will be on the play, leading off on a Misty Rainforest and Underground Sea, casting a Thoughtseize, targeting Charlie. Charlie's going to reveal his hand, showing a crop rotation, Life from the Loam, Exploration, Diamond, and a Crucible of Worlds. Let Bill take a ponder here while he's looking through Charlie's hand. Bill's deck is 4-color beans, using up the beanstalk. Also has Triumph of St. Catherine to trigger that bean, as well as Murktide, as well as Leyline Binding, Force of Will, Lauren Revealed. There's multiple ways to trigger those beans, and everyone loves the beans. So we'll see if the green-white lands deck can actually put up a fight against this. We'll see a forest coming out of Charlie's hand, and also a Mox Diamond, probably pitching the Caracas that he just drew. Yep, and then Exploration. That's going to allow him to play an extra land per turn into a Life from the Loam off of the second Thespian State, or the Thespian Stage he played as his second land per turn. It's a pretty good start for a lands player. Trying to create a 20-20. The green-white lands deck also tries to overrun the opponent with Urza Saga, so we'll see if he can work that out. There's the namesake of the beans list, up the beanstalk, allowing Bill to draw a card off of it, and if he were to force a will or anything like that, he'll be able to draw another card. We'll see a dredge here. It doesn't look like he hit very much. Thespian Stage and a wasteland. Force of Will coming out of Bill, and stopping that Crucible of Worlds from coming into play. See if he can capitalize on anything here. He does with a Miracle Triumph of St. Catherine. Not bad to make a 5/5 lifelinker, draw a card for 2 mana, and then a Prismatic Ending coming over on the Exploration. That's pretty tough as well, slowing down his ramp. See a draw here and see if he can get something going with that Life from the Loam. We'll see a Wasteland on the Underground Sea, trying to take him off some black mana, and a Loam. Picking up that Wasteland, double Wasteland, and something else there. Can't quite see it. 5 damage coming over from Bill. He's in well control. He's well in control of this game. Has the Sword's Posture in his hand as well, for any creatures that Charlie might be able to make. See another dredge here, missing on a Retrofitter Foundry, Thespian Stage, and a Loam. Not much going on here. Another Wasteland on the Tundra, just trying to catch up. And we'll see another Loam and a pickup of a stage in the Wasteland again. Losing that Exploration earlier definitely hurts, because he's not able to. Jeez, another Triumph of St. Catherine coming from Bill off the top. Miracle, another draw from the Bean. It is not looking great for the home team here. 5 more coming over. Let's see if he can do anything to stem this bleeding. I think he probably just needs to take a draw step here to maybe find an Exploration or something. There are no Swords Plowshares in the main deck, so he has to depend on Maze of Ith. There's a Tabernacle and a Maze of Ith coming off the top here. We'll see a Loam, able to get that Maze and that Tabernacle, so he can at least stop 5 damage from coming over on the Triumph of St. Catherine's next turn. And we'll see if Bill finds anything. And he rips a Wasteland off the top. We'll see you in game number 2. If you've been enjoying our content, please be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Welcome back to game number 2. Both players kept 7. Charlie will be on the play. Bill's going to lead off with the Leyline of the Void and pregame effects. Lands deck does rely heavily on its graveyard, so the Leyline of the Void is definitely a big sticking point. Let's see if Charlie has anything he can do to get rid of that thing early. Does have a Beseiju in his hand, so it looks like he is going to be able to Beseiju that Leyline. and continue moving. So Beside You on the Ley line looks like it's going to resolve, as there's no Pithing Needles and you can't counterspell it. The only thing you can do is stifle that trigger, or stifle that ability, Pithing Needle that ability. Bill's going to go get a Tropical Island after Charlie passes over, playing a Mox Diamond, pitching a Earthstone Portal. So we'll see a Ponder from Bill here. The downside to that Beside You early is that it does allow Bill to ramp out essentially into which is already a big mana deck. So giving him one land extra is not ideal, but sometimes you have to do what you can do just so you can play your deck. Wasteland from Bill on that Urza Saga is definitely going to set Charlie back. Let's see what he has here. He's got a Dark Depths to play, and that's about it for him. So in this particular instance, Charlie's almost hell-bent with only a Swords Posture in his hand. Bill's going to play a Beans and draw another card. It's going to be tough. We'll see a roll down on the Dark Depths. Going to do it the old-fashioned way, playing a Ghost Quarter and a pass. So the lands deck is definitely in trouble. 1 card versus 7 cards and a Beanstalk in play for anything that Bill has to play here. So we'll see a Ghost Quarter on the Tundra here. See if there's any responses from Bill. He's going to float a mana, 3 mana, and Sauron's Ransom. It's a pretty neat card out of the new Lord of the Rings set that allows the top 4 cards to be given to the opponent. They choose 2 piles, 1 face up, 1 face down, and they can put as many cards in one pile or the other. So we'll see what Charlie has to pile he's going to put. He's giving Bill a chance at a Wasteland or 3 unknown cards. So obviously he doesn't want him to have that Wasteland as he's hurting. So that's pretty telegraphed there. Bill will take the Wasteland knowing that that's what Charlie doesn't want, giving up a Polluted Delta, a Murktide, and a Ponder. So looks like that'll be it from Bill's side, and draw from Charlie. Retrofitter Foundry, let's see if that's going to stick. Retrofitter Foundry is a very interesting card for the green-white lands deck because it allows them to play the long game while constantly utilizing their unspent mana at the end of opponents' turns. So it doesn't feel like you're just passing turns without actually doing anything. So for 2 mana, he can create a servo for tapping that and sacrificing the servo. He can make a Thopter. And there's a Murktide. That's going to be pretty difficult to go up against here. Not only is it going to be, it's like a 5/5 flyer, it's also going to trigger those beans, and he's going to get to draw a card off of it as well. So we'll see Charlie try to plow the Murktide at end step, and a Force of Will says no thank you. All right. Not much else to do. Let's see. And also, Sauron's Ransom gives the Ring Bearer thingy as well. Pass. Back over. A swing for 5. Charlie's down to 14. So I'm sorry. That's a 6/6. So see Charlie use that Retrofitter Foundry to make a servo and try and get something going on this board to go up against this huge Murktide. Finds a Yavimaya, which I think in hindsight was a mistake, but it's the only land he had to play. We'll see how that plays out later. So we've got the Retrofitter Foundry untapped, 4 mana available. Bill finding all the land drops. Attack for 6 from the Murktide. See him utilize that Retrofitter Foundry to make a Thopter. Thopter is a 1/1 flyer that can block the Murktide. The neat trick here is he can block it, and then before damage, untap the Retrofitter, and then also make a 4/4 off of the Thopter after blocks, but before damage. So now he has a construct out. See a Wasteland come across on the Dark Depths, and now we're in the fucking shit. Attack for 4 from Charlie. Let's see if he can... let's see. Next turn, he can make a servo, but he doesn't have enough mana to untap and make a Thopter as well. Another 6 coming across. He goes to 8. We'll see another servo being made at the end step. he needs a... Well, there's a life in the loam. See if that will resolve here. Force negation will not only not allow it to resolve, but it will also send it to exile to where he can't loam it back. Another 4 damage coming across, 5 damage coming across, and pass back over. So he can make at least a Thopter this turn. Going for that loam, he may have hurt himself by just not continuing to fill the board up with creatures and try and zerg out Bill. With him only having 1 creature in play. Let's see, an untap. Definitely need some lands here. There's another swords. If he plays the sphere here, Bill would have to 2-for-1 himself. Well, we'll see a swords again. We're going to see a hardcast swords this hardcast brains of Force of Will this turn. Trigger off the beans, so it's not even like he goes down a card. That's pretty much how this game goes. And it's tough. See a brainstorm from Bill here. We're also going to go ahead and speed up the video because not much happens in terms of what's going to be going on in this game, except for a long and arduous process of me getting my absolute ass handed to me. So with that double speed up here kind of thing, we'll go ahead and move on. So I'm going to try and make a servo and try and get through this Murktide. It's not really looking good for me, so this is why it's being sped up so much. Bill's at 6 life at the moment, so he's got to hold back, but once we get into the shit with the Lord Revealed resolving, drawing 5 cards, the game basically ends. It's just, how much time and how long is it going to take him to beat me here, especially when he eventually gets to destroying my Retrofitter Foundry, and then just playing a Triumphant Gathering and absolutely bodying me. I resolve a choke here. It doesn't really matter because the Yavimaya, in terms of it being in play, just allows him to cast all the spells he wants without actually having to fetch anything. So if the Yavimaya came off the board somehow, might become a game. And in hindsight, I probably should just have crop rotated that Yavimaya away to make him fetch the lands that he needs. But once the Triumphant Gathering comes down, it's basically game over. I find a Shadow Spear coming up, but it doesn't do anything for me. And, it just keeps me in the game a little bit longer. Him drawing, 2-3 cards a turn versus my 1 really doesn't do anything for me. The matchup is winnable from a green-white lands point of view. Unfortunately, I didn't draw anything that actually allowed me to do anything. I was on the back foot the whole time, and it definitely shows in this matchup kind of thing. Here's where he gets rid of the Retrofitter Foundry. I probably should have figured out a way to do something, but again, I didn't draw anything. His counter magic was in opportune times and able to just absolutely body me. He has wastelands for days kind of thing, and being able to take me off of my Maze of Ith definitely didn't help either. Triumphant St. Catherine definitely did a little bit of life gain for him, which at the end of the day basically sealed the deal. But as you can tell, it's just me trying to hold on as long as I can kind of thing, but I never really stood a chance here. So, get a crop rotation, and he'll force a Will It, and that basically just locks up the game because he can attack for 6 2 times in the air. And I do have a Thopter that I can equip my Shadow Spear to. Thought seizes away the Sphere. I probably should have played the Sphere a while back kind of thing, just to tax him a little bit more on mana. But it's too little too late. There's an Endurance, and that's just going to basically wrap the game up. Just took me too long to find what I needed to get the game going here. And, yeah, that's basically it. So I appreciate everybody watching this game 2 and sticking with it. That's a Court of Cunning Grace. That's new, but it's over. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next round. If you've been enjoying our content, please be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below.